Hi friends, my name is Shushankar. Welcome to the brand new series of React.js. In this introductory video, we are going to see what is a React.js and what are the features of this React.js along with what are the prerequisites that are required to learn this React.js. So let's get started. So you see first what is a React.js. So React is a JavaScript library for building the user interfaces. If you clearly see that statement, React is a JavaScript library but not a framework. So this React was developed by the Facebook for to solve the common problems or issues they are facing when they are developing their Facebook application and also the Instagram application. So if you see that our Instagram is entirely designed with the help of the this React.js is only. So it is a React.js is an open source library. So we don't need to pay to anyone to use this React.js library. So this is the one of the most popular front-end library nowadays. All the companies are using. So why it is so popular? Why it is so popular? We know that after we know the features of the React.js. So let's see the features. What are the features it supports? So first one is the JSX. So JSX is a template language. It allows us to write the HTML and the JavaScript in one place. You normally see we'll write the HTML in the body tag and we'll write the JavaScript in the script tag, and we will identify the HTML elements with the help of the document.getElement by ID or some IDs, and we will replace the content. But JSX, in JSX we don't need to do all that. We simply store our logic or whatever the thing data in JavaScript variables, and we can directly use those JavaScript variables in the HTML. This JSX evaluates them and will convert to the normal HTML tags. So how this JSX look like, we'll see in the next feature called components. So what are the components? So React supports the componential architecture. So if you see the components are, so component is just a small piece of code which contains the small piece of code. That small piece of code is reusable. So we can implement the dry concept with the help of these concepts. What is the dry? Don't repeat yourself. That means whenever we need the one functionality in different places, we don't need to write that functionality in that much places. We can write in one place with the help of these components, and we can reuse that functionality in the places where it's required. So if we see, React supports two types of components. One is the functional components and second one is the class components. The first one is a functional components example, and second one is the class component example. So if we see that functional component definition, a function, a normal JavaScript function which takes the arguments as input and returns the, this is called as a JSX. This is called as a JSX. Here you see clearly this h1 hello is the HTML tag. In that props.name is an JavaScript variables. So in curly braces we can write this JavaScript, and it's a JSX evaluates that JavaScript and gives the complete h1 tag with the evaluated value as a output. So this is the function definition and this is the class definition. The difference is, in class definition we need to write the render method, and we need to return it. In functions we don't need to write any methods inside it. We simply return and write the this JSX. So if you want the definition for the components, components are just like in JavaScript functions which take the props as input and returns the JSX as a output. This JSX is in React, JSX represents the user interface, right? So that's about the components. So if you see the third one way data binding. In one way data binding, what is that means? So one-way data binding means we can transfer the data from the parent to the child, but not the child to the parent. If you know about the Angular, in Angular also we have the one-way data binding. Along with that, with the help of the ng- model, we have the two-way data binding. When we type in the template, the data will be bounded to the class, and along with that, when you change the data in the class, the data is bounded to the template. But React won't support the two-way data binding. It only supports the one-way data binding with the help of the props. What is the props and how this one-way data binding look like, we will see in the next videos. You don't need to worry. Just what is the one-way data binding? Just remember that we can pass the data from the parent to the child components only. Then the fourth feature is virtual DOM. This is the main feature of the React. This feature only makes the React unique in the all the library, in the all the libraries or frameworks, whatever they are existed in the market. This virtual DOM concept makes the React so popular. So how this virtual DOM concept works? I will show an example for that. So here we see we have the real DOM in browser, right? So this is the real DOM. If you see that this is the real DOM, and React maintains the copy of that real DOM in the memory, that is called a virtual DOM. And whenever we changes perform to the components or the user interface, those changes are calculated and compared with the virtual DOM with the updated DOM. That means, as you already discussed, that React maintains the virtual DOM copy of the real DOM as a virtual DOM, and it will takes the whatever the updates we made it to this virtual DOM and compares the previous virtual DOM with the updated virtual DOM and calculates the difference, and those differentiated values only updated to the real DOM. So with the help of this, we don't need to rewrite the real DOMs again and again whenever we update it. So if you say take the in Angular, whenever we perform any small change, any one single character change is also may perform, then the total real DOM will be recreated. But in the React, we don't need to do that. We only create whatever the differences that are presented in the virtual DOM. Those differences only updated to the real DOM. With the help of this, the performance of the React.js is also drastically improved compared to the other frameworks like Angular. So these are the features. So what are those? JSX and the components, one-way data binding and virtual DOM, and the performance of the React.js is also improved. We next see the prerequisites and what are the required things to start with the React.js. If you see that, you have to know about the HTML. For why we have to know about the HTML? Why? Because JSX uses the HTML only, and also it gives the support to the JavaScript to write the JavaScript directly on the HTML. That's why we definitely have to know the HTML and CSS for the styling, and the JavaScript. ES6 syntax is a must. Why? Because React uses the ES6 syntax to develop the class components. So that's why you must have to know the ES6 features in JavaScript also. So this is about the introduction. Let's meet in the next video with another topic. Thank you.